Auction market theory, the institutional edge behind every move. Most ES and NQ traders lose money because they use trend day tactics in range day conditions and range day tactics in trend day conditions. Auction market theory gives you the framework to tell the difference before you start forcing trades. In this video, you will learn exactly how to consistently tell what price is actually doing at every moment in the market. A retail trader might think price is moving because of news, because of a pattern, because a level held or broke, because a professional asks a different question. Which side of the auction just ran out of participants willing to trade at this price? That gap between those two answers is the entire game. And most futures traders spend years studying indicators, refining entries, adjusting stop distances, and changing strategies without ever answering the foundational question: what is the market actually doing right now? Is ES discovering new value, or is it returning back to fair value? Auction market theory answers that question, not as a prediction, not as a magic setup, but as a framework for reading participant behavior in real time. And in this video, I'm going to break down the institutional edge behind every ES move so you can understand what is happening at every level, every session, and before you place a single trade. What auction market theory actually is. Auction market theory is not an indicator. It is not a signal system. It is not a setup. It is a lens. It is a way to understand how markets move from one area of value to another based on participant behavior. And this is where most retail traders get it wrong. They look at a chart and immediately start asking, where is support? Where is resistance? Where is my entry? Where is my stop? But before any of that matters, you have to understand what the market is actually trying to do. The market has one primary job: to facilitate trade. That's it. It moves price higher or lower to find the area where buyers and sellers are willing to do business. When price is too low, buyers become aggressive and sellers step away. When price is too high, sellers become aggressive and buyers step away. And when both sides are comfortable transacting, price rotates in a narrow range. That is value. That is balance. And every ES move you see is the market either searching for value, confirming value, rejecting value, or leaving value behind. That's why the lines by themselves do not create edge. A prior high does not create edge. A value area high does not create edge. A VWAP touch does not create edge. Participant behavior is what creates the edge. A retail trader looks at a level. A professional looks at what participants do at that level. That's the key difference. Before we move on, please comment below auction market theory if you want me to create a series that dives deep on auction market theory. Thank you. The two-sided auction. Think about ES and NQ as a continuous auction. Every tick is an agreement between a buyer and a seller. For every trade, someone bought and someone sold. But price does not move because there are more buyers than sellers. That phrase gets thrown around all the time, but it is not technically accurate. Price moves because one side is more aggressive. If buyers are willing to keep lifting offers, price moves higher. If sellers are willing to keep hitting bids, price moves lower. The key is not counting buyers versus sellers. The key is identifying urgency. Who is motivated? Who is trapped? Who is defending? And who is chasing? Who is being forced to adjust? That is where auction market theory becomes powerful. Let's say ES opens inside yesterday's value area. Price pushes towards the prior value area high. At that point, a retail trader may say, this is resistance, but that's incomplete. The professional question is, when price reaches the upper edge of accepted value, do sellers respond? Do buyers continue lifting offers? Does volume expand or dry up? Does price reject and rotate back inside? Or does it accept above value and begin building higher? Same level, completely different meaning. If sellers respond and price returns back into the prior range, that is responsive behavior. The market tested the upper extreme and found it too expensive. But if buyers continue accepting higher prices above that area, that is initiative behavior. The market is no longer rotating inside old value. It is trying to discover new value. That is the auction. Price probes. Participants respond. The market either accepts or rejects, and ES moves accordingly. The two market states, balance and imbalance. Now here's the most important part of the entire video. Every market environment can be simplified into two states, balance or imbalance. That's it. Everything else is a variation of these two conditions. Balance means price is accepted. The market has found an area where both buyers and sellers are willing to transact. You will usually see overlapping price action, rotations, a defined range, a developing point of control somewhere near the middle, a value area that is relatively stable. In a balanced ES session, the market is not trying to aggressively reprice. It is facilitating trade. It is rotating around fair value, and your strategy has to respect that. In balance, breakout traders usually get chopped up. They buy the highs, price rotates back to value. They short the lows, price rotates back to value. They get frustrated because every move looks like the start of a trend, but none of them follow through. That is not random. That is the auction doing its job. In balance, the edges matter. The extremes matter. The market is giving you information. Above this area, buyers are not willing to continue. Below this area, sellers are not willing to continue. So the strategy is not to chase every push. The strategy is to respect the range until the auction proves it is leaving that range. Now imbalance is completely different. Imbalance means one side has overwhelmed the other. Price is no longer rotating around accepted value. It is moving away from value to find new participants. This is where initiative activity comes in. Buyers are not waiting for a pullback. They are accepting higher prices. Or sellers are not waiting for a bounce. They are accepting lower prices. In an imbalanced market, fading extremes is dangerous because what looks extended can continue extending. What looks too high can keep going higher, and what looks too low can keep going lower. That is why traders get destroyed trying to short days on ES just because price is overbought. You should ask yourself, overbought relative to what? If the market is in imbalance, price is supposed to be away from value. That is the entire point. Before you look for an entry, you must answer one question. Is this market in balance or imbalance? If you cannot answer that, you have no context. And without context, a level is just a line. Initiative versus responsive behavior. Once you understand balance and imbalance, the next layer is understanding two types of participant behavior: initiative behavior and responsive behavior. Initiative participants are trying to move price away from value. They are entering above value or below value because they believe the market is mispriced. In ES, this often shows up when price breaks out of a prior balance area and does not immediately return. For example, let's say yesterday's value area high is at 5,300. ES opens near 5,295, pushes above 5,300, and instead of rejecting, it holds above that area. Buyers continue to accept higher prices. Pullbacks are shallow. Prior resistance becomes accepted. Volume builds above the old value area. That is initiative buying. The market is saying, old value is no longer enough. We are searching for higher value. Responsive participants are different. Responsive traders act when price moves too far away from perceived fair value. They are not trying to start a new auction. They are responding to price being too high or too low. So if ES pushes above yesterday's value area high, stalls, and fails to build acceptance there, and then rotates back inside the prior range, that is responsive selling. The market tested higher prices and rejected them. That is valuable information, not because the level magically worked, but because participants responded at that location. This is why I say the trade is not at the level. The trade is the behavior at the level. That one sentence can change the way you trade because it forces you to stop treating levels like automatic buy and sell buttons. A value area high is not resistance. A value area low is not support. The prior high is not automatically a short. The prior low is not automatically a long. These are auction reference points. They are locations where you observe behavior. Does price accept? Does price reject? Does volume expand? Does volume dry up? Does the market return back to value? Or does it leave value behind? That is the read, and that is the edge. Practical ES morning framework. So, how do you actually apply this before the ES session? Before I place a trade, I want to answer 3 questions. Question 1. What was yesterday's structure? Was yesterday balanced? Or was yesterday imbalanced? If yesterday was balanced, then I know the market established a clear area of accepted value. That gives me reference points. Prior value area high, prior value area low, point of control, and range extremes. However, if yesterday was imbalanced, then I know the market may still be in the process of discovering new value. That changes how I treat pullbacks, and that changes how I treat continuation, and that changes how I treat failed rotations. Question 2. Where is developing value today? Is value building higher, lower, overlapping, or not building at all? This matters because price alone can deceive you. ES can trade above yesterday's high, but if value does not migrate higher, that breakout may be weak. On the other hand, ES can look extended, but if value is clearly shifting higher, the auction is confirming acceptance. The third question is, where did we open relative to prior value? Inside value, at the edges of value, or out the outside of value? An open inside prior value usually tells me the market is still accepting the previous auction. That does not mean we cannot trend, but it means the burden of proof is on the market to show imbalance. An open at the edge of value is important because that is where responsive behavior often appears. The market is testing whether the prior range still matters. An open outside prior value is where things get interesting. If ES opens above value and holds above value, that can create initiative continuation. But if it opens outside value and fails back inside, that can create a powerful rejection trade. This is where context becomes execution, not prediction, context. You are not saying, I know where ES is going. You are saying, if the market accepts above value, I want to think continuation. If the market rejects back into value, I want to think rotation. If the market remains inside value, I want to be careful chasing. That is professional thinking, not certainty, scenario planning. Why this is the institutional edge. The institutional edge is not that professional traders have a secret indicator. It is not that they know the future. It is not that every move is manipulated. The edge is that they understand the auction. They understand that price is not just moving randomly from level to level. Price is advertising opportunity. It moves higher to see if buyers are still willing to participate there. It moves lower to see if sellers are still willing to participate. And when the market finds an area where both sides agree, it balances. When one side disappears or becomes aggressive, it imbalances. That is the rhythm of ES. Balance, imbalance, acceptance, rejection, initiative, responsive. That is what is happening behind every move. And once you see it, you stop asking weak questions. You stop asking, is this bullish? Is this bearish? Is this support? Is this resistance? And you start asking better questions. Where is value? Is price being accepted or rejected? Are participants initiating away from value or responding back toward value? Is the market facilitating trade or searching for a new area to facilitate trade? That is the shift, And that shift changes everything, because now your entries are not based on hope. They are based on context. Your stops are not random. They are placed where the auction should not go if your read is correct. Your targets are not emotional. They are based on where the market is likely to find the next response. That is how auction market theory becomes practical. Not as theory, not as vocabulary, but as a real-time decision-making framework. This is the foundational framework I lay out in my book, Trading on the Edge, available on Amazon. And inside the book, I go even deeper into how I connect market structure, auction context, execution, risk management, and real trade examples. You're not just looking at ES levels, but actually understanding what those levels mean. Because once you understand the auction, you stop reacting to every candle, and you start reading the market like a professional. And that is the edge. Leave a comment with the word auction if you want me to break down how to apply auction market theory directly to a volume profile setup on a live ES or NQ chart. And if this helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks.